Breaking overnight, Russia and Ukraine trading deadly strikes as the U.S. tries to negotiate an end to their war. A wave of Russian attacks in Kyiv, including on a residential building, has killed at least 6 people. Several more have been injured. Also overnight, a Ukrainian strike in Russia leaves at least 2 dead. This comes as NewsNation learns a U.S. team met with Russian leaders to discuss the plan to end the war in Eastern Europe. NewsNation's Tom Dempsey is at the White House with the very latest. Tom, good morning. What else do we know about this high-stakes meeting?
Hey, Nick, good morning from the White House. Well, according to a source familiar with the matter, Army Secretary Dan Driscoll traveled over to the United Arab Emirates to meet face-to-face with a team from Russia to talk about these ongoing negotiations over a peace plan to end the war in Europe. Driscoll took part in talks with Ukraine over the weekend, and the source telling NewsNation that Ukraine knew about this follow-up meeting between Russia and the United States. The Secretary of State Marco Rubio saying negotiators made progress on the U.S. peace proposal, but right now, President Trump has really pushed for a deal to be put in place by this upcoming Thursday, so time is ticking before that deadline. But again, all sorts of talks still taking place, Nick.
Tom, I know we're talking about the war in Ukraine, but that's not the only major issue on the plate for the White House today. The Trump administration is vowing to appeal a ruling on 2 big cases that we talked about as breaking news.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a very big story when it came down, Nick. But here's the thing. The legal fights for former FBI Director James Comey and New York State Attorney General Letitia James, those legal fights might not be over, with Attorney General Pam Bondi saying she plans to fight back against their cases being dismissed.
We'll be taking all available legal action, including an immediate appeal, to hold Letitia James and James Comey accountable for their unlawful conduct.
And those comments came after the judge said the lead prosecutor for the federal government, Lindsay Halligan, was unlawfully appointed after the interim U.S. attorney before her resigned amid pressure to charge Comey. Comey faced charges for allegedly lying in front of Congress about the FBI's handling of the investigation into alleged Russian collusion with the Trump campaign during the 2016 presidential election. James, meanwhile, faced mortgage fraud allegations. They both pleaded not guilty in their cases. James's attorney issued a statement writing, quote, "This case was not about justice or the law. It was about targeting Attorney General James for what she stood for and who she challenged." Comey released a video message after that dismissal came down saying he expects President Trump to keep coming after him using the courts. But some big questions regarding that as to whether or not he can be charged again, because the statute of limitations was days away from expiring before that initial indictment came down that later got dismissed, that case. Nick?
Tom Dempsey live at the White House. Tom, I know this is still a developing story, and you will stay on top of it. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.